this work. Good evening. I'd like to open the meeting, and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Comments from the general public, and we'd just like to remind everybody that each person will be allotted 3 minutes. Do we have anybody from the general public? Mr. Ward.
I'm not on your agenda, so I guess I speak at general public. Just want to remind everybody out there in TV land, tomorrow night is our special town meeting for the school. That was first. Second, I wanted to suggest, and hopefully this would be acceptable with you folks, and that is when we go to the town meeting, ask the moderator if he would ask the town meeting body if they would allow the project manager and HMF, the architects, to do a short presentation before we start, thinking that maybe it will answer some questions on all three of those articles. Okay? And so that was the direction I was hoping to go in. I'm sure there will be many questions, and I hope the moderator will let me kind of direct the folks on our committee that might be the best ones to answer the questions. So basically that's all I wanted to say, except that there is a lot of enthusiasm on your own committee, encouraging folks in the morning by saying hi, and please vote for our school. So, any questions, folks?
Thank you for everything you've done to help us get this far, Dick.
The next week and a half is it. Folks, if you're out there, we need all of you helping us, especially getting people out to vote. Thank you.
Before you go, can I just say thank you too, because it was great seeing you out there this morning. You were there. I know Andrew was there before I got there, but Mr. Ward was there early. You put up all those signs and Shaws, and it was fun. I had a half-hour window. Andrew stayed longer, but it was invigorating getting all the honks, for support and waving and smiling faces. And I was just telling Gina, I had a flashback to when you were my gym teacher, because we were a little bit distracted. We were talking about the Patriots game last night, me and Andy Carterelli, and Mr. Ward said, make sure you're making eye contact and keep on waving. So we stood right to attention, and we dropped the Patriots game. We'll talk about that some other time, but it was awesome. So thank you, Mr. Ward.
Oh, anyway, it was enjoyable. I got a few more of those days.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. Okay, next on the agenda, we have the approval of minutes. Would anybody like to make the motion?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from regular session November 9, 2015.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Moving right along, reports from the superintendent.
Yes, thank you. The reason we decided to call this meeting was twofold. One is to talk about the recommendation from the Commissioner and the Board of Education on further statewide testing, and second of all, to recommend the articles for town meeting, which weren't published by the time we had our last meeting. So we thought there would be a school committee vote needed, but as it turns out in the background information that I gave you, it turns out that the districts who did not choose to administrate park in the past year will be given the opportunity to do it this spring. So, but if we gave park, we have to continue with park. It isn't a choice for us. And then the next test will be a next generation MCAS test with incorporation of the Massachusetts standards of 2011. So we don't have to make a decision, because they made a different decision than we anticipated. But we will just keep on with business as usual, and Meredith has a lot of knowledge on this. If you have any questions, you can ask either one of us. Okay, moving right along. Now this is the exciting part. Carver Middle High School as a new principal. And Scott will introduce her.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to start a little bit by telling you a little about the process we went through in terms of selecting Janelle Hawley as the new principal of Carver Middle High School. So we had over 30 applicants for the position, and when the position was posted, we were looking for people with a minimum of 5 years' experience at the principal's level. And we were hoping that would be our candidate pool. And Liz and I did a screening of the over 30 applicants, and we made a decision to interview 8 people. Six of the eight people that we interviewed had experience as a principal at either the middle school level or the high school level or both. We had made a decision to look at 2 candidates who had not had experience at the principal level at either the middle school or the high school. Then we had an interview committee. The interview committee consisted of teachers, students, administration. And I just want to recognize the committee for their work, so I'd like to say who the members were. Elizabeth Sorrell, superintendent of schools, myself, Christine Cabral, assistant principal at Carver Middle High School, Ruby Maestas, principal of Carver Elementary School, Tony Rhoda, technology teacher at Carver Middle High School, Rachel Kilnap, English teacher at Carver Middle High School, Tammy Johnson, who's here, math teacher at Carver Middle High School, Bob Ewell, English department chair, Gina Marie Rush, Principal's Administrative Assistant, Sharon Assam, Parent and PTO Representative, Jennifer Dowding, Parent and Music Boosters Representative, Holly McEachern, an 11th grade student, Holly's a 10th grade student, Holly McEachern, a 10th grade student, and Jason Schoen, an 11th grade student. So we had 13 people in total who interviewed 7 of the 8 candidates. So we originally selected 8, one person ended up declining the interview, so we interviewed 7. And then from those 7 candidates, we asked 2 people to come in as finalists, and each of the finalists did a site visit. We made a decision to bring the person to our school. In some interview committees for a principal's position, we would go out to the candidate schools just to get a sense of them and their environment. We decided to go in the other direction. We thought it was a more meaningful experience to bring the candidates into our school and have them meet students, teachers, really the entire community. So each candidate did a full day in the building, the Monday and the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And then we got all kinds of feedback from every person who met the candidates completed a feedback form. And then Liz and I reviewed all of those feedback forms and made a decision to offer Janelle our position. So I'm excited to introduce Janelle Hawley today. Let me tell you a little about her background. Janelle actually comes to us from Providence, Rhode Island. She has a bachelor's in science and marketing from Johnson & Wales University, a master's in the arts of education and administration from the University of Rhode Island, and is currently working on her doctorate degree from Northeastern University. Janelle's experience actually was in turnaround high schools. So she went into underperforming schools in Providence and Rhode Island area and worked in those schools to really make quick improvements. These were schools that were really struggling. A little bit of a different background than she'd be coming into Carver, but through the interview process, Janelle said she was looking for a little bit different line of work and didn't necessarily want to be working in turnaround schools all the time, and wanted to come to her husband works in southeastern Massachusetts. They were looking to move to this area, and her goal was to achieve a principalship on the South Shore. And she's done that. We're happy to have her with us. Through the interview process, Janelle really, there were a couple things that stood out through the process. One was her personality and her ability to connect with all the adults, students, everyone she met. There was an instant connection. The students felt it. The students were really passionate in their support of her as the candidate when we did the 2 finalists. Janelle doesn't know that. She hasn't heard me say that yet, but they were very passionate in their support of her. They really just felt that she had an overwhelming energy that they were excited about her bringing to the school. And they got a real sense of passion and commitment. And that's true not only of the students, but of everyone who met Janelle. So that was something that stood out. There was a real sense that there was going to be a passion from her to look to always improve. Now, I will say some people had a little trepidation about the concern of her background of coming from a turnaround high school, saying we're not a turnaround high school. But we're not an underperforming school. But Janelle, and people asked Janelle that question, and her response to that was, we're always striving to improve, no matter where you are. your goal is to always improve. So no, it may not be the same approach as coming into a school that's been identified by the state of Rhode Island, in this case, is underperforming. But you still, any place you go, your goal is to do your best to improve that environment. And Janelle said, that's what I want to do in Carver. I want to come here, I want to be committed to the school, and I want to try to continue you along your course of improvement. And we were excited about that. The other thing that became evident through our discussions was Janelle's knowledge and background about education. She's well-versed in pedagogy, educational language, what's going on in Massachusetts. So you can tell she had done some study and some research, because every state's a little bit different in terms of the testing that occurs, what happens, how it's approached, and you could tell that Jill had made a real commitment to making sure she was fully up to what was going on here in Massachusetts. And when I spoke to her references, I wanted to give you some of the things that her references said. One person said she was the finest leader that I worked with in my career. Another person said organized, resourceful, cares about the whole student, always looking to improve herself and others. One person said, what you see is what you get. The energy that you see through the interview process, and I didn't facilitate that. I didn't say, oh, she was really energetic and it was amazing how well she connected with everybody. The person said, that's who Janelle is, and that's what's going to be a year from now. That's what's going to be 2 years from now. That's not just what is going to happen during the interview process. And I thought that was a really telling comment for someone to say, what you see is what you get, and that passion's there, that drive is there. Another person said, unique ability to communicate with staff and students. Extremely personable, high expectations for everyone, and really has a strong follow-through. If once she makes a commitment and says, this is the course we want to go on, that's the course that's followed. So I think all of those things are just really exciting. I'm looking forward to working with Janelle in my role as superintendent of schools and Janelle's new role as the principal of Carver Middle High School. So with that, I'll invite Janelle up maybe to say a few words about herself. I don't know if she wants to add anything on to what I said or clarify the points that I missed, but if we could please welcome Janelle Hawley.
Well, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
I wasn't prepared to say anything, but this is what you do. I am so excited for the opportunity that has been provided to me to join this family. One of the things that I immediately felt about coming into Carver, as I learned is how I pronounce it, this evening as we went to dinner, is the sense of commitment that everyone has in this community and everyone's openness and willingness to invite me into the community. While the interview was intense, for lack of a better word, it truly showed me that they were very concerned about getting the right person to do the work and to move the school forward and to continue to have the excellence. So I look forward to meeting all of my staff one-on-one and to get to know all of my students and their families and to do this work. So I'm excited. I'm sad that I won't have the opportunity to work with the current superintendent, but I am super excited to work for the incoming superintendent. And I've heard amazing things, and I have very big shoes to fill. The staff has told me, so I look forward to working in collaboration to move the school forward. So thank you.
Welcome.
The vision statement for the school committee is continuous improvement. So, see, there you go.
I don't know if you have any direct questions.
I just had a comment,
Sure.
if you don't mind. No, that's okay, you can sit right there, you're fine. I was just gonna say, as a fellow Johnson Wells alum, welcome to town. Right. And is there a time frame of like when you're looking to come in? Is it clearly like in summertime or more near?
As soon as you guys are ready for me, I'll be here.
So, yeah, Janelle and I started talking about that today a little bit in terms of making a transition plan for her to, one of her goals was to really, and I think hiring at this time is going to afford her the opportunity to do that. One of her goals was to really meet each staff member prior to beginning the job. And she said she wants to come in for a couple days and just make herself available and almost, just give everybody the opportunity to come down and spend a few minutes with her. And obviously we'll be doing some other things in terms of making that transition and transferring my responsibilities as principal to Janelle.
our legal counsel, Stone Chandler Miller offers Massachusetts legal updates, and there's a whole series of them that we plan to send her to, because just like said, school policies are just slightly different in every state, so we're going to, make sure she has the opportunity for that while she's, because she's involved in her PhD work. She is not in a school this time of year, so she can devote some time to that, so.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent. I heard a rumor on Facebook, love Facebook, that one of the candidates was at the play recently, and I think that might have been you.
Yeah.
And I was impressed. I just wanted to say thank you very much. I don't know how common that is for, incoming principals to go and partake in something extracurricular like that, but I was pretty impressed by that. So thank you for showing that interest and supporting the community in that way, and welcome.
I just want to say I'm very excited to have you here and meet you here. It's so nice to kind of see all the dominoes fall into place, and even though we're not a turnaround school, we still strive for excellence, and I think you'll bring that talent to the table. And personally, my daughter is entering 6th grade next year, so I hope she's with you for the next 6 years. That'd be great. 6, 7, 8. Said 7 years.
7 years. 7 years. We have the unique opportunity of working with students for 7 years.
That's right.
It is a
So
tremendous
7 years. Thank you, Ms. Hall.
All right.
Excellent,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So you are more than welcome to stay, but you do have a drive if you want to go home. We would forgive you that. So, next you got the copy of the warrant for, town meeting. And, so, they will ask us at town meeting, what does the school committee recommend for, these 3 articles: community preservation, which will provide the funding for the recreation spaces at the new school, and the new elementary school project as a whole. And then this Article 3 also involves some usage of some transfers of the money to be spent for the part of the design. So I don't know if they'll ask you for Article 3, but you should probably take a vote on it just in case, so.
That's the money to keep the designers going as we're moving forward, right? Because the goal is that we can break ground and do some foundational work early before next winter hits.
Not
if
all
that's
of
the
it,
ca-
but
No,
some of it, yeah.
Some of it, yeah.
So I just thought it would be safer to take.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree 100%.
So probably a motion on each one of them would be appropriate.
Well, I'll make a motion to vote in favor of the CPA funding for recreation fields at the new Carver Elementary School.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any comments, questions, discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
I'll make another motion for number 2, the funding for the new elementary school building project.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions, discussion?
I hope people really take the time to realize how much effort and time was put in, and how good of a deal this really is. There's a lot of talk about it's not going to get better than this, and I think that's really true. It's not going to get better than this. It really isn't. So hopefully we're on target, and people are paying enough attention to really understand. Because I think we've noticed over the past weeks, and with the forum that we held, there's still a lot of confusion as to the facts out there, and really people understanding what the true effect is going to be. So it's a good plan. Hopefully it goes forward well.
All right, a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
And I'll make a last motion here to approve Article 3, transfer of funds.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
I'd just like to add a reminder to the public is that town meeting is the first step. Without town meeting, we won't get there. And we need a quorum of 150 people, and we need a 2/3 majority to move the project to the ballot. So we have to get as excited about town meeting as we do about voting for the project. So just a little reminder. So
And really, the video, the cable won't be broadcast till after the town meeting, so whatever we can do via social
Right.
media or telephone or whatever, which looks like we're already doing, but keep it going.
Okay, so the last one is, just wanted to announce and congratulate Paula Foley and her team of kindergarten teachers and paraprofessionals that we once again received our second accreditation from the National Association of the Education of Young Children. Not very many preschools and kindergartners have this accreditation, and it's largely due to Paula's fine leadership and the hard work. This is not an easy task of the teachers and paraprofessionals. You have to, it is equivalent for kindergarten and preschool as our NEASC is to the middle high school, and it's quite an achievement. I wanted to thank them for you.
Thank you.
Nice job, Paula.
Congratulations.
I'd also like to thank the many people in the district that helped with this, because as Liz said, it is in some ways very much equivalent to NEASC. I couldn't have done it without the help of the central office. I know Anne Marie McConnell helped me a lot getting information for me. Dave Siedenhoff, the custodial staff, really a lot of people play into this. And it was just wonderful that they were all able to step up and provide the information needed. It is quite we've been working on this for a little over a year. It's a reaccreditation for kindergarten, so they've recently gone through it, but preschool we just added, so we're very excited about it.
Excellent. Thank you.
Very few public preschools have this accreditation in Massachusetts. So that's a big thank you to everyone. Then we have 2 field trips that need your approvals so they can start raising funds for the state conference and pay their bills and recruiting teachers. And then the